Hey, are you an aspiring author or professional seeking the right partner for finally creating and launching that dream book project that you've had? Join us as we delve into all the top challenges faced by individuals like you as you go through the selection process of choosing the right collaboration partner. Today, we're in conversation with Betty Withrow, an expert in book creation and coaching, who will share some insights and solutions to help you through the process. Hey, Betty, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Greg. This is going to be fun. I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So it's great to have you here today. As someone who works so closely with business owners, authors, and professionals seeking to bring their ideas to life through writing a book, you've encountered a wide range of challenges. And the one that is the elephant in the room is the big focus that the whole world is. It's taken the world by storm. It's the old AI Chat GPT. So people have taken to writing a ton of content through AI, through chat, and it's really picking up. So if I'm writing a book, why wouldn't I just use Chat GPT?
Well, I would hope that you wanted your book to be yours, and because it's your face to the world. Your book can become your brand. It's your presence, and it's your legacy. So you want to have your own personal voice, and Chat GPT is not going to be able to find you in the same way that you find yourself when you work with someone who asks you critical questions that you may not have thought of yourself, and works with you directly to understand what kind of messaging it is that you want to bring out. So that's one reason, because it's your legacy and you want it to be as good as it can possibly be. And ChatGPT can help with a lot of things, but it can't help you be more of who you are.
Yeah, you know what? I think working with a copywriter like yourself, you bring out the emotional connection that people have. You remind people to be human. And I think what you see with the Chat GTP, I'm noticing a lot of it. I'm becoming very aware of what I suspect is written by AI and what's written by a real person, as everybody else. So I think what's really valued is the authenticity and the genuineness that working with the copywriter can bring to life. So that's my 2 cents.
I agree with that. The personal connection is what people are really hungry for in the world today. We have lots of automated stuff. I use automated tools myself, and I love to just be with a person because, at the end of the day, that's what communication is for.
You're absolutely right. I read the other day that with the explosion of information out there, content no longer holds the value that it once did. But the one thing that's sorely missing and holds tremendous value are the connections, the engagements, and the one-on-one interaction. So that's where we really focus. And again, back to using the services of a ghostwriter, copywriter, or coach such as yourself. I think one of the big values is strong points is reinforcing that, right?
Yes, absolutely. The whole purpose of content is to get people to connect with you directly. For example, what does your blog want to accomplish? Maybe it's to have people pick up the phone and call you, or to go to your website and investigate your services further. Yeah. And so that's the connection that you're trying to accomplish. The earlier you make that connection, the more chance you have of people not clicking away from you and going somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Hold the scroll, give them a call to action, give them something to move towards. So,
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, again, if I'm considering writing a book, or a lot of people through, what kind of common challenges am I going to have trying to find the right writing partner?
Well, let's see. The first thing is, what do you want your book to do? And typically people wonder, how much time is it going to take? How much money is going to be involved? What's this going to be like to work with the person that I choose? And so each one of those questions has direct bearing on who you choose. I like to ask people when we first have a conversation, how much time do you have to put into this? And that goes directly to how committed are you into this? So those are some of the challenges that people have. And then another one, the fourth one is, am I good enough? Just about every writer that I've ever encountered at some point in the process really questions their value. And I can tell you that everybody has something to offer the world. Your experience is unique. Nobody else knows the things that you do. And your voice deserves to be heard, and people deserve to learn what you have to teach them. So, those are the things, Go ahead.
Sorry, I think it's kind of, you call it that the imposter syndrome.
Yes, imposter syndrome. I mean, I've had people who are literally at the top of their field. They're absolutely experts. And then as it starts getting closer to their book is now becoming a reality, they start to say, does anybody even want to read this? I'm like, are you kidding?
The human condition. We're so we're so incredibly complex.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So for people contemplating writing the book, coming through and using the coaching services, what are your top 3 tips for people that are looking to engage the services of yourself or one of your associates?
Well, in terms of what their writing is about, I want my clients to carefully consider who your audience is. Where does your audience hang out? How do they communicate? And what are they going to gain from this piece of writing that they're going to read? The second thing, we really dig into that because that's foundational to the work. That's the first and last question that I always have. What do you want this to do? When we have really identified the central and deepest purpose, then the rest of it naturally comes into place. The second tip is to think very carefully about how you're going to position your voice within that framework of communication so that your audience is ready to engage with you. And the third tip is to carefully consider what kind of an outcome are you going to offer? What are they going to get from reading what you have to say? And that circles back to the first and last question. What do you want this to do for yourself, for your reader, and for the world?
Great. Okay. Thanks for that, Betty. Those are some great tips. So in order for me to be a smart consumer, what should I know or how would I prepare before approaching you that would really help to, streamline the process and make sure that we get to the same place? What are your kind of thoughts on that? What should I have prepared before approaching you?
I would like to know that you have thought carefully about the questions of, how much energy are you willing to put into this process? How comfortable are you expressing your voice? And what kind of support do you really believe that you need? I mean, that's the second question I ask. What do you want this to do? And what do you think that you need? Because it may or may not be what you think you need. You may think you need one thing, but actually you need something else. And think about what kind of support is going to be most valuable to you. A lot of people need emotional support of some kind or other. Almost every coaching client, I could say everyone, has turned into a sort of a life coaching client at some point because of that imposter syndrome, because of other issues that come up while you're writing. So I want you to think about what kind of emotional environment is comfortable for you. How seriously are you going to take your project? How much commitment are you going to put into your project? And how comfortable are you opening up and having somebody ask you questions about where you're coming from and things like that? If you're ready for all those things, we can have a marvelous and very creative time and really get some momentum going and do something that's valuable and rewarding and takes you to places you never even knew existed. You want to see proof that the person that you're hiring is capable and that they're committed. If possible, ask them for some recommendations or testimonials and things like that, because that gives you a frame of reference of what kind of feedback they get from people that they've worked with. Like typically on LinkedIn, If someone is giving a recommendation, it's because they really believe in what you did. So for process and pricing, how much does it cost? Well, this isn't the most popular answer, but it's the most real one, is it depends. What do you actually need? What is your goal? If you actually need only a little bit of support, maybe a coaching program is best for you. I mean, I've had people come to me with their manuscript mostly done, and all they needed was some guidance. If you need, if your manuscript is complete and ready and all you need is an editor, that's another different conversation, a whole different tier of pricing. If you're looking for ghostwriting, that's another whole process, and we have to figure out how much effort's going to go into it, what's the length, what's the topic, how much research is involved, and things like that.
Okay, so that falls back into your first tip on, get some clarity around what you're trying to accomplish and what you're going to need to accomplish that. So you do have a bit of a process and framework that you bring to the table.
Yes, yeah, I do, and I work with people who are very good at what they do and to support people at different levels of, again, marketing or creating programs that come off of their books. A lot of people would like to have a membership or a coaching process that comes out of their books, and so we can develop all of those things depending, again, what do you want us to do?
Yeah. Okay, so you've been doing this for a little while. I imagine you've helped a few different people, but is there a particular story or customer experience that you can share with us that kind of illustrates your process, and where were they at and where did you bring them?
Yeah, I'd be delighted to share this story. A lady that I met had a book idea for 15 years, and she never really quite pulled it together until we met and we hit it off. And she got into my coaching program. I helped her to shape it into a manuscript and asked her questions about what else she could put into it. She pulled that together and just caught fire. It was wonderful. She was suddenly really inspired and gained the confidence that she needed to take her message out to the world. We got her manuscript together and uploaded and published in record time, 7 months. And it got her into a whole new phase of her life, being a speaker for a cause that she really believes in. And, again, it changed her whole idea of what she could do with her life. Really inspiring for me, too. To be part of that is really an honor. Yeah.
That's a fantastic story, and really illustrates the power of becoming an author. Putting your ideas out into a book and be able to share who you are and your thoughts, and it's something that if you've thought about doing it, go and do it. Take the plunge, get into it. Yeah. Get the guidance of somebody like Betty, who knows the process, and it'll pay off in absolutely. Spades, is that a word these days? Pay off in spades. Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah, it does. It's a stack of gold coins. It's very rewarding to know that you completed the process. That in itself says a lot, because only 3% of the population are published authors. When you have a book, it establishes your authority in various markets, particularly the speaking markets, and it's a legacy that maybe your kids are going to go, wow, Mom, you finished your book. I never thought that would happen. And so that is really cool. One of my coaching clients told me that yesterday. Her son said, hey, Mom, you're finishing your book. And she said, you're darn right. And she was on fire, so that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you, how long have you been in business?
I started my first business when I was 16. So, making things and selling things has been my life, ever since I was 16. But for the Writer's Launchpad, I actually created it as a business in 2015. After I did some edits for family members, including my son's thesis when he came home from college. Then I went, I'm going to keep doing this. And then it's grown from one thing to another. started with editing, then it went into coaching, and then it became ghostwriting too, and other things that I create for clients besides books. So yeah, it's been really rewarding because I learned the skills of writing earlier in life, and I hadn't been using them in the same way until my kids grew up. I got into a whole different way of life, and then it came back full circle, and now I'm doing this. So it's great.
Okay. Just to help our audience understand, so the services that you provide through the Writer's Launchpad are?
Okay. Author coaching, edits, ghostwriting, copywriting for different types of business materials, blogs, email series, website copy, video scripting, PowerPoints, all of that type of thing. I do all of those things in combination if needed. And, as I mentioned, I work with my collaborators to help with developing course creation and hosting and platforms and strategies. So,
wow, that's a mouthful. So I've got one question for you. How much does it cost?
Everything you got, pal. It comes back to it depends. It really depends.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Cool. So I guess another question for you, Betty, is what is your definition of business success?
Okay. I call it success when you get to be with people that you enjoy all day long, and you face challenges together, and you enrich one another's lives in different ways. You're making things happen that make a difference in the world and for the people that you work with, and you're happy to be together, and you get to choose the projects that you work on. That's success.
Have you heard the expression PLU?
No, what's that?
It means people like us.
People like us. Oh yeah.
You're a PLU, man. We're kindred. I've got the same definition almost verbatim. So. Yeah.
Oh, amazing! Yeah.
Obviously, I think you're amazing because you think like me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're mirroring happiness to one another and sharing unique skill sets and brilliance. I mean, I love working with people who know things that I don't know. And I know that I know stuff they don't know. So then we get to combine our talents and come up with something new and original in the world. I think that's the real definition of success for me, is doing something original and not just going along with the quote trend, because today's trend is tomorrow's that again. It happens so fast now, So be the thing that's happening, and don't even wonder if somebody's going to make it into a trend. It does not matter.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so I guess we're getting close to wrapping up. I understand you have an offer for our viewers today.
Yes, I'd like them to go to the writerslaunchpad.com and check out and sign up for the 5 Steps to Flow, which is the exact system that I use when I'm working with clients to create books. It gives you an outline of how I work, and there's some follow-up messages in the series that can give you some real tips and motivation to keep the ball rolling. And, if you like what I have to say, then click on the other button that says schedule a time to talk with Betty. And we can share some time and see if we're a good fit to work together.
Okay. And how do people get there, and how do they contact you?
They can go to the writerslaunchpad.com, or they can text me at 831-238-2626, or they can find me on LinkedIn or on social, on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn a lot more than I'm on Facebook, so find me there.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. And for our viewers, all that contact information is going to be in the text below the storyline that's created with these episodes. So look for it there. And you know what? That's all the time we have today. So Betty, you know what? I got to reiterate, if people are out there looking for a business author, a coach, a ghostwriting, or all the other things that you do, you're established, you're trustworthy. There's the KLT is resonating with you. The KLT is the know, like, trust. So, thank you very much, Betty. You have yourself a great day.
Thank you, Greg. It's been wonderful to be with you on this show.